Welcome back to The Obsessed Marketer, the podcast designed for you, the small business owner looking to jumpstart your business and learn quick marketing strategies that you can take with you to increase your sales, reach, and growth. We have a small business spotlight today that you don't want to miss. It's with a brand new storefront downtown, just a little bit of ways from us here at Viral Solutions. It's called 01 Vintage, and actually, I'm wearing a shirt from there right now. It's pretty sick. It's run by a guy, he's 21 years old, his name's Victor. And he's always wanted to open up a storefront, and he finally did it at the age of 21. And one of the things is he has no website, and he does a lot of his stuff on Instagram. We're gonna talk to him all about it right here on The Obsessed Marketer. All right, we're here with a very special guest. He is the owner of a brand new shop in downtown Oshkosh. It's called 01 Vintage.
Yep.
Victor Kielman, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is very exciting, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So you opened up a brand new storefront here in downtown Oshkosh, just kind of down the street from us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me about the origin story. What's going on here? Why are we doing vintage? Let's go.
Yeah, right? It's crazy. So, again, ever since high school, I was just like, I basically knew what I wanted to do. I'm not going to lie. We went to a store up in Milwaukee, and I was just so immediately inspired by that. And I'm like, I think I could do this. It actually was a shoe store and like kind of a like designer store. But like for me, that wasn't something that I was really we were interested in it, but I knew that wasn't really gonna last too long. So all throughout high school, I'd be collecting and selling vintage and stuff like that, going to thrift stores, finding stuff, you know what I mean? The thrill of the find. Eventually my closet just got way too big, and I was just like, okay, I gotta move some of this stuff. So I started selling online, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I think I can make a career out of this. And so far it's been going really, really well. It's kind of crazy. Started online, and now I already have a storefront at the age of 21. Like, it's actually insane.
Yeah, let's keynote on that. He's 21 years old. That's so cool.
Thank you.
If you can't see Victor right now, like, he's got beautiful glowing skin.
I try. I just did a little skincare routine before this. I had to make sure I was looking good. So even though it's a podcast, not that anyone can see me.
It's just been so exciting. You know, I was joking with you earlier. Yeah. You're kind of like the downtown wonder kid, so to speak. People are like, oh my gosh, like, if a 21-year-old can start a storefront, like
why can't
Why can't I do it?
It's literally crazy. Yeah, it's super fun. I mean, I've gotten only compliments for it. Like, so far, I've heard very few negative things. If anything, it's all been constructive criticism on things I could change or improve on, which I need, obviously, being a completely new storefront. So, I mean, it's just been going really, really well. It's kind of crazy how it all happened, too. I mean, I when I was in high school, again, like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to college for 4 years. That just wasn't something I was really interested in. I got very, very lucky. I got a scholarship for UWO, but the Fond du Lac campus. So it actually kind of helped cover my college.
So for people who aren't local, that's kind of like a 2-year campus.
Yes.
Yeah,
yep,
it's like
exactly.
A satellite campus.
Exactly. Yes. And that's what I did. I went for 2 years, and it was crazy too. Like, you literally can't write it any better than this. 3 days after I graduated, my store, or the store that I'm now renting, literally popped up on a website that Black Teak Properties. Yep. Literally on their website popped up. Like, I was scurrying like throughout my entire like college days. I was just like, oh my God, I need to find a spot. I need to find something, because I know what I want to do. I don't want to go for another 2 years. I was taking like all these classes I didn't even care about anyway. It's something like all these math classes I know I'm not going to do anything with, like y equals mx plus b.
Like, I don't even know the Pythagorean theorem.
Literally, that's how.
We always joke, we're like, another day without using the Pythagorean theorem.
Yep. It's so funny. I literally at the store the other day, someone brought that up, and they were like, I was like, yeah, the only time I'll ever need that is when somebody asks me how to do it for like money. Be like, hey, if you know the Pythagorean theorem, I'll give you $50. I would not get that $50. No, I got no clue.
You know, we should do that. I should go man on the street that and go ask people to do it for me.
But yeah, sorry, no. It worked out really well though. So yeah, literally 3 days after I graduated, the spot popped up. I texted Mitch, who ran it at the time, got into contact with him. I'm like, we got it. We set up an appointment to go check it out, and it was literally like love at first sight. It's just crazy. We walked in. I'm like, okay, I want it. Like, let's do it. This is perfect.
You're like, let's sign
it now. I literally texted him. I think after the day after we had looked at it, I texted him like, yep, I'm ready to do it. Like the overhead didn't even scare me. I was like, stuff like that. You just have to jump right in. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
You have to just send it. You cannot think twice about it.
Can I just say, like, we had the opposite experience as a business. Yeah. So this, for us, Viral Solutions is family business. It started just with 2 people. Tom and Christine are our founders. And the business existed for like, I want to say 4 or 5 years, just people working out of their homes.
Wow.
Cool. And didn't have a physical office whatsoever. And I remember when Tom signed that lease, we were in this building, but in a smaller space. And he was like, I just signed a 5-year lease. Oh my God. Like, my business has only existed for 5 years. Like, what if we don't make it 5 years? He was like, okay, I'm going to sign it.
Just gotta do it.
He was like, but you know what? He's like, it's going to give me that fuel to be like, you know what? I can't be complacent anymore. I've got this overhead. Like, I have got to make this business real.
Yes.
Well,
that's a great way to put it.
I want to ask you this though. Sure. Okay, so opening up a storefront, what was the kind of drive to do that, man?
Honestly, so again, like I said too before, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Really, for me, it was just like, okay, this is something that I love doing. Can I make a career path out of it? Okay. And so far, like I said, absolutely, it's been great. Again, we've only been open literally like 6 weeks now. We opened up August 20th. So it's crazy. Already over a month, which is insane. And like I said, it's been going really well. But again, to actually, like I said, just actually go and do it was crazy. I just knew I didn't want to work a normal 9 to 5, to be honest. I would rather, let's put it this way, I would rather work at my store for 12 to 14 hours a day, which I have done. I think this entire last week I was there for minimum 12 hours a day, which is crazy. Nice. But like for me, I would rather do that than work like a 5-hour shift at Target where I worked before. Like, you know what I mean? No slander to Target. We love Target. But I would rather do something that I absolutely love. So it worked out great.
I love those TikToks where it's like, I quit my 9 to 5 job so that I could work 24/7.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. That's what it is.
But you enjoy it though.
I do. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm thinking the other day I read this article by Mark Cuban, and he was like, don't start a business doing what you love. And I know you and I have talked about this too. Like, don't start a business doing what you love.
Interesting.
Start a business doing what you're good at. So like, how would you respond to that? Like, because clearly you're passionate about vintage. It's something that you would do and be interested in, even if you weren't running this store. But what do you feel like in your business? You're like, I am so good at this.
That's so funny to hear. You know, it's a really good question. And it's an interesting way to put it too. I almost want to disagree in a weird way, you know what I mean? Like, because I understand what he's trying to say, but like for someone like me, it was like the best of both worlds, really. Being good, I feel like obviously having the experience of doing it for about 6 years now, like literally the second I got my license, going to thrift stores, getting all the research, learning something new every single day, buying stuff, I'm just like looking at, why did I buy that? Like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? It's a learning process. And really just, I don't know. I think that when you love something a lot, you want to just completely put all your drive towards that. And I mean, again, what did he say again? What was it?
It was like, don't start a business doing something you're good at.
No, don't start a business doing you love.
What you love, something that you're good at.
Right. That's super interesting because it's something I'm good at, but it's something I also love, and that's why I was saying I almost agree. I lost my train of thought there. I was like, so it's a weird way to put it, but you know, I guess for me it's just literally I just love it, which is insane because. I guess he is right. Maybe I shouldn't disagree with him because he is right. I do love it.
But you could argue and say because you love it so much, that's why you're good at it. Because you work towards being good at it.
Yep, exactly. That's a very true thing. Absolutely. It's a good thing I love it too because like I'm starting to create like a weird addiction to that place. Like I'm like, oh my God, I should go to the store today. I'm not doing anything. I'm like, okay, I should go start tagging stuff or go start decorating more stuff. You know what I mean? It's never going to be done for like, I'm honestly like, so I'm there. I'm going to be there for 2 years. I have a 2-year lease, but I would love to see what my store is going to look like within a year. You know what I mean? Because like even from being only open a month already, I'm already changing things too.
Okay, like, I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's what I see as a really good strength for you, especially as a younger person. You are like so good at receiving feedback from your customer.
Thank you. That's
and
true.
I can tell you, like, we see customers or clients of ours in the marketing world all the time that don't do this. Like they are continually getting feedback from their clients, their customers. It doesn't matter if they're like a church or an e-commerce business or a brick and mortar store. Like they're getting feedback from their clients saying like, I have questions about this, or I would love it if you would help me with this. And they're just like,
And they're but I'm going to do it how I want to do it.
Right.
You're like, you know what? Oh my God, my people are loving this look right now.
Exactly.
And that might not be my aesthetic or my vibe or whatever, but people are loving these, I don't know, like cheesy cat, like grandma sweatshirts. And you're like, that's not my aesthetic, but people love it. So I'm going to go get some more of that.
Absolutely. I try. That's one thing that's super funny that I love is that I can put out things that I know other people like. Obviously, like I know what sells and stuff like that. And it's cool, like with my register, I can see the things that sell the best, which is another really cool thing. And again, I love hearing feedback from people. Literally people, it's like they'll DM me on Instagram. They'll be like, hey, like, do you guys have this? Do you guys have that? Hey, you guys should get more of this. I'm like, okay, I'll remember it for that for the next time I go do buyouts and stuff like that. If I see that, I'll be like, okay, hey, I need that. But again, too, it's like, I love being able to put out things that I also like and see other people literally grab those things. I'm like, oh my gosh. Every single time someone comes up to the register, I'm like, I literally love that one. I wish I could keep that. I just don't like the way it fits me.
You're like, give me that. Give me that back.
I want it back. I want it back. No, but it's true. Like it's hard for me to not keep a lot of the stuff I see too because it's so cool. But again, my rule is if it doesn't fit me perfect, I'm moving on to the next person. There we go. Again, something cool about vintage is like it's sustainable too. So like you can wear something for a week, and if you don't like it, you're like, I'm sick of it. You can literally sell it and still make money on it, or literally. Just move it. Well, either just make money on it. Move it onto a new home is what I was trying to say. Move it onto a new person.
Well, and it's better to be more sustainable. I mean, especially in the world that we're in now.
Right. There's a lot of fast fashion, that's for sure. Yes. I was gonna say, I know everyone loves a good bit of sheen here and there and stuff like that, but
guilty as charged. I'm wearing it right now.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
No.
That just means I have to come stop by your store.
That's true. I'll get you right. I'll get you right. No,
cool. But okay, let's talk about this because you have a lot of Instagram followers, and that's kind of is that how you're mainly kind of reaching your audience and your customer base?
Honestly, it's true. The page has been growing crazy, literally insane. Like every single day we're gaining followers. Even on days we're closed, we're getting followers. I mean, people story sharing it, people word of mouth too, as you can imagine, is crazy. I'll have my friends DM me. It actually just happened the other day. One of my friends from college literally DM me. She was like, hey, a lot of my friends love your store. Like, I will be sure to stop in soon. Everyone's wearing it on the campus. It's actually crazy. I'm like, that literally, I was like, oh my God, you're gonna make me tear up. Like, that's crazy. Because again, at the end of the day, that's always the goal, is to move these products, help keep things sustainable, and literally see people wearing these clothing it's insane. It's really, it's a really humbling thing. It's crazy.
So what do you think in the sense of like, cause you don't even have like a website set up yet.
No, not even.
So like, what do you think Instagram is probably a better platform to, kind of get that information across, or what do you think?
For me, definitely. I mean, everyone has, Facebook and Instagram, right? Like everyone and their mom, I should say, has it. You know what I mean? Even their grandmas. So we actually, it's really cool with Instagram. You can actually link your page to Facebook, because I believe Facebook bought Instagram or something like that.
They're the same company.
Yep. So that's really cool. So you can actually like link your accounts together, which is really, really neat. And anytime I make a post, people that have Facebook but might not have Instagram can see it. So it's really, really cool.
So you double post on
Exactly. Yes. It's super, super neat. So again, I'll get a website eventually, but like for me, it'll be just a website to kind of say what we're about versus like selling things, because for me, Instagram is going to be the best way to do that. I can post pictures. It pops up right in people's feeds, and
you can connect right with your people, with your customers. Yeah.
DMing on Instagram is crazy. Like literally, you could reach out to a celebrity if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Athletes, people like that, which is something I actually should do. I should start DMing them and be like, hey, we got a new store in Oshkosh.
Hey, Giannis, come on up.
Giannis, come on, the Herd guys. Exactly. Yeah. It's cool too, because we have the Herd here in Oshkosh too. Yep. We were talking about before. There's so much cool stuff going on in Oshkosh. That's fun to be in a city that is so progressive. In my understanding of honestly only living here for a month so far. And being just, again, I only live in Fond du Lac, or I did live in Fond du Lac for my entire life. So seeing a city like Oshkosh versus Fond du Lac is crazy to me. There's so much more to do here in just a 30-minute drive, 20-minute drive even. Yeah. So it's really cool.
That leads into a question that I had, last question here. Why Oshkosh? You moved up from Fond du Lac, and you moved up here to Oshkosh. Why?
Great question. It's pretty simple, to be honest. The college campus was something that was like honestly a deal breaker for me. Again, too, we were talking about it before. Fondy's so boring. Again, I lived there. I lived there for
no disrespect.
No disrespect to the people in Fondy, but I'm not wrong, because I can say that too, because like I said, I lived there for about honestly my whole life. I was born in Chicago, moved up there when I was like 2, so I'm 21 now. So lived there for about 19 years.
Yeah.
To come up to Oshkosh frequently, come here, try out new restaurants, check out new places, new activities and stuff like that. On top of literally having the college campus, I went to Oshkosh for my very first semester of college too, which was kind of fun. We dormed in the Scots. I was like, this place is awesome. There's so much. There's so many people here.
The Scots are fun.
The Scots were a good time, right?
Yeah, it's a good time.
Very good time. And I was just like, this would so tank in Fondy if I were to do it. Again, and I'm not slandering people in Fondy, but everyone's a little bit on the cheaper side there. You know what I mean?
But you have a good point here, though, is that you're meeting, your target audience.
There's a target market, absolutely.
Yes. Where they're at. Yep. Location. It's
huge. It's absolutely huge.
And I think, you have a good understanding of, okay, if I opened this brick and mortar store in a smaller town that doesn't necessarily have that like younger demographic.
Absolutely.
Oshkosh, has this like captive college campus so close.
Yep.
You understand like, okay, maybe the rent is a little bit more in Oshkosh than it would be in Fond du Lac, but I know that I can be successful there. So I'm not scared actually to write that 2-year lease.
That's exactly what it was. It's crazy because that's a great way to put it. It's very, very true. When I was like, oh my gosh, like that overhead is going to be crazy now. Like, oh my gosh, I have to grind. But again, like you said before, having that, it's almost like having a fire under your butt straight up. Like to actually be like, okay, it's go time. Like now I actually have to grind towards it. And again, I knew I was making the right decision by coming to Oshkosh because like you said, that target market is just, it's here. My location is crazy. I'm right in a really nice spot on Main Street. Like I have everything going for me right now. So, and I hope that doesn't sound too like, I didn't mean to make that sound like
no,
too
you
like,
gotta be confident,
too much of a flex. You know what I mean?
No,
but like, it's crazy.
it.
It's really crazy how everything's been happening right now. Yeah. Not trying to flex. That's a good.
No, flex it. All you
right?
No,
It's just been
think
crazy.
That's like the most perfect example of, okay, you saw like this listing, right? Like days after graduating. And so it's kind of that almost like moment of superstition, right?
Yeah.
Like, wait, is this real? Is like divine intervention.
That's true.
I don't know, right?
It's so funny. We learned about that in high school.
Yeah, what is the universe trying to tell me right now? Like, I'm supposed to have a storefront.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you weren't lazy about it. You weren't just like, oh, wow, maybe I should look at this, you know, or maybe I should think about it some more. You're like, you know what? I'm going to contact this person and I'm going to use it as fuel. Like, you have such an entrepreneurial mindset at 21 years old. Like, you're going places.
I appreciate that so much. Yeah, thank you. I'll be honest, me and my mom actually are huge believers in like manifestation and honestly divine intervention. It was so funny you said that because it's actually such a true thing. I remember learning about that in high school. I'm like, that's actually a good way to think sometimes. Like sometimes like the way everything just works out, it's almost too good to be true. And this exactly was a perfect example for me that I always like to give to people. Like, to be fair, I was manifesting it for, I don't know, like 4-ish years. Cause like it was like middle of high school and I was like, okay, like I said, I know what I wanted to do. Right. Mm-hmm. But the fact that I was telling people that, it's like you can tell everyone that you want to open up a storefront or you want to do something even in general, but they won't believe you until you actually do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So to actually be able to do it.
You got a full send.
Yeah, you do have the full send. It's a very, it's a great way.
And you you can flex because you're like, yeah, you know what? I told you all that I was going to do it. And guess what?
And I did it.
It's kind of funny. There's so many people that literally told me that. They're like, dude, you literally would like all my coworkers at Target, anytime we'd be working a night shift, we were just like, oh, what do you want to do with life? Well, I actually want to open up a storefront. They're like, oh, really? That's super cool. And now like they would comment on my post when I announce it. They would literally text me. They're like, dude, you actually did it. Like, congratulations. That's crazy. So it's been nothing but love, really. That's why I've been enjoying every second of it. It's crazy. Right?
Well, hey, if you want to go visit 01 Vintage, where can they find you?
Can find me over at 415 North Main Street, right across from the old exclusive company buildings. I know obviously they're not there anymore, even at their most recent location, but even though it's just like 200 yards down, 100 yards even down the road, wherever it was, right next to Jambalaya, right next to Mojo's, right in between those two buildings. Again, 415 North Main Street. Super excited to be here in Oshkosh. Again, I thank you guys so much for doing the podcast with me too and inviting me out to actually do it.
Thank you so much for being here.
And your Instagram too, plug that.
Oh, thank you.
Especially for our listeners who might not be local.
True. The Instagram is 01 Vintage, so 01 Vintage __. I'm in the process of trying to get the 01 Vintage handle, but that might be a little bit of a process. But yeah,
we'll start mass reporting the other.
That's what I'm trying to do. I DM'd all my friends. I was like, can you guys please go report this account? They haven't posted since 2013. It's a dead account. So hopefully, if anyone listening knows how to do it, please let me know.
I might be able to help you out. I actually got something taken down one time that was using my name before.
Really?
So yes.
We'll talk about it.
I got you.
Appreciate that.
Well, Victor, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much,
you guys so much for having me. This was was super exciting. Hopefully we can do it in the future. Anytime you guys ever want me to
come back anytime.
let me know.
Absolutely. I'm sure our listeners would love to have like a masterclass from you of like, how could I start a business with just social media?
True,
no website.
We can definitely talk about it. That'd be super fun. Yeah. I appreciate it tons, you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you guys.